This is Soft Sounds ASMR, collaborating with Paris ASMR, an amazing and talented AsmrTist. Today I'm going to be talking about the British tea culture. Tea came to Britain about 200 years ago. It came from East Asia and was soon the most popular drink in Britain. It outpassed beer and ales very quickly, and one of the reasons why it grew so popular was because women were allowed to go to tea shops without a chaperone, and it was societally acceptable for that to happen, because at the time women were generally looked down upon if they went out without a man to random places. So tea shops really allowed them to get out and socialise without having to bring a man along. Tea is a very sociable drink in Britain. We drink about 3 cups a day, and that's on average for anyone over the age of 10. I know people who drink up to 8 cups of tea a day. It contains half the amount of caffeine that coffee does, so essentially it's healthier for you. It's been said to reduce the risk of cancer and cardiovascular disease as well. We generally tend to drink tea. Very often there are many occasions in Britain we find that there's always an excuse to drink a cup of tea. So, for example, we drink tea in the mornings with breakfast to wake us up. Sometimes in the mid-morning at around 11 o'clock we may drink tea to keep us awake and keep us going till lunchtime. There was a tradition that is less popular now, but it's still ongoing, to have 11 ceci. This is where we drink tea and have a cake or something, a small nibble to eat at 11 o'clock to tide us over until lunchtime. Many British people also drink a tea with lunch. However, many people decide to drink a tea in the afternoon to keep them going until tea time. And tea time mustn't be confused with tea as in the drink, because we also call our evening meal dinner or tea. There have been a lot of strong women who have really trailblazed the tea industry. The first tea shop was started by a woman, and also the idea of having high tea, which is a tea in the afternoon, was also started by a woman who decided that it would be good to have tea to tide you over until dinner. As in older times, we used to have dinner at around 8 o'clock. As I said earlier, tea is a sociable drink. Many people take a break during work to chat with colleagues and drink tea. It's considered good manners to ask if you're taking a break and going to get some tea. to ask everyone or your close colleagues if they would like some tea too. In fact, tea is so ingrained in the workplace that workers say that 80% of information they learn at work is learned over a cup of tea with a colleague. Tea is also very popular at educational places such as university or college, where students who may have a break decide to have some tea together and chat about how their day's been. So basically in Britain we use tea as a way of socialisation. It's a reason to get together, and it helps to ease conversation because we have something to distract ourselves, to stop it from being awkward. There are so many popular types of tea in Britain. In Britain generally we like to have tea in tea bags. Whereas some people, about 2% of people, like to have tea with tea leaves in their actual drink. However, most people like to have tea bags, so they will put the tea bag into a mug, boil the kettle, put boiling water into the mug too, and leave for a certain amount of time to let the water absorb the tea. They then take the tea bag out, and some people reuse it, and also most people add milk and perhaps a little bit of sugar too. This whole process is very widely debated over, and is definitely something you should try if you come to Britain. Try debating about putting the milk in first before the water, and you will get some very passionate British people arguing very strongly against it. I think being British, we value traditions and regularity, so I think that's why we can get a bit too passionate about tea. Tea is also what brings many older people together, because as people start to get older, they sometimes decide to start tea groups or coffee groups, but usually they drink tea. And so many old people come together to chat over a cup of tea, and it's really quite sweet and a really good way of getting out to meet friends. Tea is also used widely in any social gathering, such as a party. In fact, you get tea parties, which are basically where members of society come together and drink tea and have a little bit of lunch and talk about things, but also even if you just invite someone to your house, you usually end up drinking a cup of tea together. And if someone doesn't ask you if you want a cup of tea, it is actually considered impolite. So basically, in Britain, speciality flavour is Earl Grey tea, which apparently has a citrus-like taste. We also love green tea. And a new one that I found out about today was gunpowder tea. I'm not sure if it's actually made out of gunpowder or not, but apparently it can be very energizing, as you may be able to imagine. All in all, the British love tea and love making a big deal out of the process. It's kind of a ritual, and I think we just love to share our love of tea with the world. Thanks very much for watching.